on our speeches today, Okolichany, and you work on your AOB, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And his first one is the Ice Bucket Challenge, the old something facts.
Cold hard facts.
Cold hard facts. You and I went to the same writing school. Okolichany.
I brought a visual aid. It's on my phone, so I'm going to pass it around. Just take a look at it. Movie quotes. Go ahead, make my day. Tell me what it is. Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry, right? I'm too old for this.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover, my buddy, who I spent the weekend with this weekend, had a blast. Nobody calls me chicken.
Marty McFly.
Marty McFly, what movie?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Wow.
Let's think about that movie for a second. Some of the scenes in that movie. Remember in the first one, when he goes back to the future and Biff is the king? It's Biff's world. Does everybody remember that? Biff's world. It was a terrible world, wasn't it? That was Biff's world. Right now we got something going on in America called the Ice Bucket Challenge. Tugs at our heart. It's for ALS. Dump a bucket of ice over your head and challenge other people to do the same to raise money for ALS. So far, I heard on the news this morning, $15+ million raised for ALS. Isn't that wonderful?
It's a lot of money.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, let me tell you about the world that the Center for Disease Control is predicting for America. 2050, that's what everything points to. 2050. So that's, what, 36 years from now. 36 years from now. Here's what they're saying America's going to look like. 50% of the country obese. 50%. Not just a little bit chunky. Defined as obese. 50% of the country. We're at 35% now. That's not too far of a leap. They're predicting that 50% of the country also is going to get cancer in their lifetime. 1 out of 2 Americans. Right now it's 1 out of 3 men, 1 out of 4 women. 2050. That's what we're looking at. That's Biff's world, 2050. Okay? And it's like there's nothing that we can do about it. It's just going to happen. By 2050, 100 million Americans, 1 out of 3, diabetic. Diabetic. And it's like there's nothing we can do about it. Center for Disease Control, the FDA, the AMA, these are they're all their statistics. A few months ago, on the front page of the New York Times, and I think I'm the only one that read it, it said that our medical system, which spends more money than all the other countries in the world combined, some $2.7 trillion, wastes 30 cents of every dollar on things that are unnecessary or the doctor didn't need to do it anyway. 30 cents of every dollar is spent on fraudulent charges. They didn't call it fraudulent charges. They just said they were unnecessary, or they didn't do any good, or they were done just to run up the bill. Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff defrauded his investors out of $3 billion. $3 billion. He goes to prison for the rest of his life, and rightly so. He hurt a lot of people. Our doctors, in their businesses and practices, and this is eccentric, because nobody wants to think about this, waste or defraud insurance companies and our government at a $735 billion a year. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets a parking ticket. Nobody loses their license for 3 seconds. Think about that. And their world in 2050 is a terrible place to be. How can we stop from going there? How can we make Marty McFly come back in the DeLorean, get back in his DeLorean, and go back to that world and find it better? We need to listen to different doctors, is what we need to do. And it goes back to telling people it's your fault that you're sick because you got bad genes. Slap your mama, slap your daddy, slap your grandma and your grandpa on both sides. Just slap them. Because you got the cancer gene, the obesity gene, the heart disease gene, and so forth. Now, I had a little discussion the other day, it was actually a few years ago. Is it ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, or is it ooh-ee, ooh-ee-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang, ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, or ee-ah? Who knows? Ah-ah or ee-ah? Give me a show of hands. Ah-ah. Well, that's what I think it is. The majority of the crowd said against it. But it says, my friend the witch doctor, this is what he said to me. Okay? Now, you think about witch doctors. What did they do? I put a spell on you, Sonny. I put a spell on you. Sonny gets all freaked out. Ah! He does the scenes. Put a spell on me. Oh, no. I got to go find a witch doctor to get the spell off of me. And there's a little money exchange there. Well, that quit working. So what did they do? They come back and they said, all the way to today, you got the bad genes. We don't know what causes ALS. ALS is a central nervous system disorder, just like MS, just like Alzheimer's. We know in holistic medicine that it is caused by oxidative damage to the cells. And it can be reversed with nutrition and diet. But nobody's investing in that. You know why? Because that's not a billion-dollar blockbuster. The pharmaceutical companies, who own the fertilizer companies, the seed companies, and the pesticide companies, by the way. Is everybody familiar with the Forbes Fortune 500 companies? Forbes Fortune 5, biggest companies in America, okay? 10 of them are pharmaceutical companies. 10 of them. Those 10 companies make more money, billions more, than the other 490 companies combined. I'm talking about Walmart, GE, Ford Motors, Apple Computer, Microsoft, Steve Jobs. Those 10 companies, 490 combined. They certainly have the money and the resources to be expert marketers. Why are we dumping buckets of water over our head to raise $15 million for people that make billions of dollars more than everybody else in the country? Why are we walking around in pink shirts, red shirts, heart walk, to send them a couple million? That's a drop in the bucket, pennies to them. They got us all in there because it tugs at our heartstrings. But in their world, by 2050, it's going to be a nightmare of disease in America if we don't start doing something different. Mr. Toastmaster.
I started thinking about ice buckets a little differently now. You want to reset?